my own spit. Hold on, folks. Hey, everybody. Wellness Week Live. Steph, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Mommy Mondays. You are you're too mommy-ish on me. You're too nice to me, Steph. You got to man up, Anthony.
I got to give you the look.
I need you to be tougher on me, Steph. Okay, so the hardest you've ever laughed in your life. That's today's show, among other things, if we have time to get to those things. So, Steph, I'll just tell you my hardest time I ever laughed, okay? Because I was thinking about that. I was like, there's so many times that I've laughed so hard and things like that. But I think one of the things for me was many, many years ago, my then girlfriend and I, many, many moons ago, we were at Caroline's Comedy Club. And this comedian comes on. He was an opening act, too. So it was like, I don't know, whatever. And his bit had me, you ever laugh so hard that it hurts, right?
Yeah.
It was hurting me so much. I wanted it to stop. So I had to start to think of like end of the world stuff and zombies and dark stuff to kind of make myself become sad, because the laughing was, and it didn't help that my then girlfriend was also thinking it was equally as funny, because if she didn't think it was that funny, maybe I would have been like, okay, like I would have laughed, but not that much. So she's going off, I'm going off, and I'm just like, Wheezy, here I come. Anyways, yeah. So, by the way, off the subject, real quick, Sanford and Son, right? It wasn't Wheezy. It wasn't Wheezy. Wheezy's moving on up episode.
It's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. That is Sanford and Son, right? Wheezy was the Jeffersons, right? So every time, right, I'm always dying of something new every day and every week. So I'm like, Wheezy, what is it? Elizabeth, here I come. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, back to the laughing, right? So, but I was laughing so hard, it was hurting, right? So I just had to start thinking of dark thoughts, because I was like, I need to stop laughing because my jaw everything was just in so much pain. I was under the table, literally, at Caroline's Comedy Club, just like I couldn't breathe anymore. And so she wasn't helping me, my then girlfriend, because she was laughing. So you might be wondering, what the hell is so funny? Well, like I said, this wasn't even a headliner. So that's what caught me off guard. The guy, it wasn't even a funny joke. It was like, man, but you had to be there. So the way he laid the joke out, and I do stand-up comedy and stuff, it was the presentation and his carelessness. This guy didn't even want to be here. He was like, all this crap. And he talked about, and again, it's not going to sound funny now because it's been almost 15 years later, but and you had to be there. But he talked about, when those pipe players play the pipe to make the cobra come out of the basket. So he goes, I wonder, like, what's going on in that cobra's mind when it's in the basket, the comedian's saying. He's like, because the cobra's just chilling out in the basket. He ain't coming out. And then why does the cobra come out for? Like, what's the cobra thinking? Like, oh shit, they're playing my song. So the cobra starts to rise. Right there, I was done. I was like, I don't know. I just thought that was so funny that, the cobra's chilling out. The cobra would never come out of that basket. But when that dude plays the flute, the cobra's like, they're playing my song. So that's it. And dead. So that was kind of it. I didn't even hear anything else he said. It was just like I was struggling to get through the night with that. Anyways, okay. What was your funny? And by the way, I'm bringing this up, folks, laughing the hardest, because laughter is the best medicine, right? So laughter is joy, and it's important to laugh, and I think we should try to laugh every day. And I'm blessed with great friends like you, Steph, and others that I laugh at myself. I laugh at even the panic attacks I've had, right? Been a joke, right? I'm like, Steph, I'm in heaven now. I'm calling you from heaven, whatever. But laughter matters, it's disarming. Yeah. It's important. It's so therapeutic. It releases endorphins, So anyways, that's why I'm bringing it up in the Wellness Week episode, that laughter is important. And I think we should try to do it every day if we can, and laugh at ourselves. It's important to self-deprecate. Okay, so Steph, what was one of, or the funniest moment in your life that you can remember that drove you to like, oh my God?
So just like yourself, I laugh every day. And I'm blessed too. I have a lot of funny friends. It is the delivery a lot of times. It's not necessarily the content. It's like the way the person says it. My daughter is really funny. Her friends crack me up too. She's got one over right now, actually. So, it's all that stuff, together. But there are two things that come to mind. One is when Wanda Sykes did a bit, and she was describing a Brazilian wax.
Oh, I heard that bit.
And she compared it to hot lion teeth in her butt. And she pictured her butt, going across the Serengeti, being chased by this mountain lion, and I was like, well, damn if that's not true. It was an amazing metaphor. So that was definitely
I knocked you out.
yeah. I was dying
And
laughing.
she's my favorite female comedian, Wanda Sykes.
Love her.
Yeah.
Another time, we're talking about like, oh, we need laughter. It's the best medicine. When we were going through the pandemic, and I shared this with you,
You started to.
for anybody who doesn't know, Anthony was doing this show at night. And you did a dating show.
Was that the one where I pulled out the flowers and the song came on? Romantic?
Both.
Okay.
Both. It was the show. There was a show where he pulled out the flowers.
Right.
He had like a tuxedo on.
It was unexpected. Nobody knew this was going to happen. Right. It was called The Shit Show, but we called it The Shit Show. And it was basically a way to get through the pandemic, a nightly variety show, kind of like a Johnny Carson type of show. Just I did magic tricks. I made jokes, Q&As, just to help me and my friends get through a hard time. So I called it The Shit Show. And it was very therapeutic, right, Steph? So
it was great.
I had a dating game that night, and we dated.
That was like a couple of episodes later, right? The dating game was.
Yeah. Right. So that night with the by the way, when I practiced that skit, I was on the floor laughing. I'm like, if people don't laugh at this, I don't know, because it was like something came over my mind and gave me the idea, because I'm like, I can't be this funny. So yeah.
That show is so funny that right after he aired it, right after you aired it, I called you on the phone, and yes. I was just cracking up hysterical. We were both just on the phone dying laughing. We weren't even saying any words.
Yeah.
That's how funny that was.
Yeah, it was. And I think you're hitting on something, and Wanda Sykes is good at this. And so was this opening comedian. I think the key to comedy is the unexpectedness of it. You don't expect something to go here, but it goes there. And I think that's what I did in that show. Nobody expected me. I mean, I literally ripped out a bouquet of flowers. It was part of I have a magic trick that I do, because I also do magic shows. So nobody was expecting boom, flowers, candle goes on, sexy music goes on. I mean, yeah. So it was that element of surprise that takes people, that it gets you off kilter kind of. And that's what Wanda Sykes is so good at, about the Brazilian wax thing or whatever. You're not even thinking that, so right. And so I knew I had something in there, and especially because I'm playing also off of the self-deprecating, as Wanda Sykes is doing too, of myself. I'm not taking myself seriously. I'm playing off of, I'm desperate, I'm single, and so when you do that, you're right, you disarm the crowd. It's funny. I laughed at me. And so this goes back to, health and wellness, when you can laugh at yourself and not take yourself too serious. And I mean, probably I don't even take myself serious most of the times, like, it's like, yeah, just relax, everybody. Meanwhile, I am a head case. I'm always like stressing. I don't know, who knows, right? But yeah, so to your point, thank you very much, Steph. Oh, thank you. I'm a funny guy. Hey.
It was really funny. And I remembered, I think too, because especially during that time, it was something to look forward to.
We needed a laugh.
Yeah.
We all needed to have that moment, and there was not much on television. Everything was either postponed or canceled or not happening, and to have somebody that everybody knew, a familiar face in me, and you guys to me too, and it was it really took on a life of its own. But yeah, and I think things were more funny too, because if I did that show right now, I don't think it would have been as funny, because people are out and about now. But when you're locked in and you're just desperate and sad and everything's gloomy, any little kernel of light, any little giggle will help, So I benefited probably more than anybody. But thank you so much. I appreciate that, and that's my gift. That's all I got. I'm not good at math, so I got that. That's what I do.
Yeah, and the other good thing that came out of that too, and we've talked about this also, is there were people that, because the show, when it was on, it was live, and people would comment, and we would comment back and forth to each other.
Correct.
I reconnected with people that I used to talk to, and I actually made new connections, new friends through that show that you did.
Yes.
So it was great, because during that time when it was so hard to make connections, laughter gave us that common ground to do that. So it was awesome.
Right. And to your point too, I think timing is everything. If that pandemic would have happened in the 80s or 90s, I couldn't have done a show. You know what I'm saying? So, and the technology enabled us to communicate in real time, unlike if it would have happened in the 80s, where you're relying on the networks, So it was bad timing with the pandemic, but good timing with the technology that enabled all this buffoonery and silliness to happen, you know. And I needed it as much as anybody because I was starting to break, you know, with being locked down.
Yeah.
It hurt a lot of people, and it was nice. Yeah, so thank you so much. And it's the, you know, we take for granted, you know,
yes.
laughter. We take for granted laughter. We take for granted, I think, even comedians, you know, like you might not find somebody funny, but to make someone laugh, you know, is like I said, I have people that come up to me after my shows or when I'm whatever it may be when I'm doing entertainment, and they treat me like I'm curing cancer. You know, it's just like, wow, you know, it really does mean a lot. And me too. You know, when I laugh, it takes you away. You know, it is truly the best medicine. It really, really is. Anyway, so okay, let's move on. Second topic. Okay, so Steph, you're doing good, Steph. Okay. I'm not gonna fire you, Steph. You don't want to know who's gonna precede her if I have to fire her. Okay, it's gonna be bad. All right, so dress to impress. I don't know about you. Like, I'm not a big. I have fancy clothes. I have custom suits. I'm not trying to brag, but I like this shirt. It was donated to me. You know, I'm serious. Like, this is a good shirt too. I think it's Abercrombie or Eagle or something. Our friend Mike gave this to me. You know, Mike T, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, my point is, I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm jeans and t-shirts, but you hear this a lot, right? Dress to impress, or clothes make the man, clothes make the woman. I mean, what do you think about that? I don't know. Do clothes make the man or woman?
I don't care about designer labels. So if you're asking me about
not that, but I mean, but dressing nice, like looking nice, even if you have a knockoff, but you look nice. That's kind of what I mean. Not necessarily spending, but you know, combing the hair, get your makeup done, you know, wear a shirt that is that just maybe fits better. Like, that's what I mean. Not necessarily custom.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're a parent I'm gonna cut people grace, right? Like, if you're just in the shop, right, and I know you're with your kids or you've had a hard day or whatever, I'm not judging your sweatpants or your pajama pants and your messy bun. I'm a mom and I do that too, so I'm not judging that. But you know, if you're meeting your friends for lunch, if you're on an interview, if you're going out on a date, you know, if you're meeting somebody for the first time, I think, you know, yeah, neat, clean, brush your hair, brush your teeth, you know, put the deodorant on. You know, I have a lot of friends who are single, and they tell me how they go out and they meet this guy for the first time, and he shows up in a shirt that he slept in. There's stuff in his teeth. The hair's not brushed. If this is your best on the first meeting, you know, where does it go from there? You know?
I think you're right. I'm writing this down, actually. Not that I need to hear that, but I think I need to do a show for single guys because I went speed dating recently. It was sad. I just wore clothes that fit me, and I brushed my hair and brushed my teeth, and I was like a perfect 10 compared to the guys that were there. And the guys that were there were not bad looking guys. It was just my point is, I don't think guys, particularly guys, it could be girls, but usually it's us guys. And I was guilty of this many years ago. I think guys don't know how to dress, what fits, what doesn't. You know, it matters, right? To have white teeth. Like, I know I was that guy. And I credit a lot of past girlfriends for taking an interest in me and say, hey, you know, this shirt would be better for you. And they just bought me the shirt. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah. I never thought of it. I used to always wear shirts. I'm a medium. I used to always wear extra large. I was swimming I look like an idiot. I look back at some of these photos and I'm like, oh my God. And, you know, so I think, I got to do a show about that. I need to get somebody on here. Men's dress show.
And you know, even if your clothes are oversized, I'll cut you that slack if they're clean.
Right. 100%.
You know,
or like brush your teeth. Like, yeah, you know, like comb your hair.
Comb your hair.
This is not an exaggeration. I did the speed dating thing about a month ago, and that was happening. Dudes were coming in, hair not combed. I was like, wow, what an easy lift for me. Like, they made me, I look like Brad Pitt compared to these guys. And these guys were not ugly guys, but it's just, they made it easy for me. I just wore clothes that fit. I brushed my teeth. I combed my hair. That's it.
And I'm not looking for you to whiten your teeth or anything like that. I'm looking like, do you have it? Is that stuff in between your teeth right there?
Yeah,
like,
no.
that's what I'm looking at. Like, why we didn't brush for a week now? Like, because that's more than a day, what I'm seeing. Like, that's what I'm looking at.
And that's single people. But I mean, I think you probably see this too. I mean, and then forget it. When people get married, especially men, I think it's out the window. It's just it's like, wow, like you just gave up, huh? Like there's no, I don't know. Yeah. I think life also gets to people, single or not. And
Yeah.
you just kind of give up. I was talking to a friend of mine about another friend of mine, and we're saying how he just gave up. He has a job, makes good money, but he's not happy with his life. He's not, and it shows, just in how he dresses. And again, no one's saying wear a 3-piece suit, but yeah, how you carry yourself, how you sit up, or whatever, all the little things like that. And I guess I've been guilty of that in the past too. But like you said, no one's saying dress in a 3-piece suit every day. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, my grandfather, who rest his soul, my nonno in Italian, I'm not bullshitting you. This man wore a suit every single day of his life. I mean, 98 degrees out, suit on, shirt and tie, suit on. I mean, yeah, so, but that was an yesteryear generation. He's a product of the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah.
But
if you wake up every day and you, how do I say this, like, appropriately? If you get up and you stay in the pajamas that you slept in bed in all day long, there's a feeling that goes along with that.
100%.
But when you put on fresh clothes and you brush your hair and you maybe you splash some water on your face and you just kind of spruce up a little bit.
Right.
For me, I feel better.
Right.
It puts me in a completely different mindset.
And it doesn't have to be expensive. People make excuses. Oh, I got the money. You don't have the money to buy a shirt in the future that fits you. I mean, you can get clothes for free. I mean, my friends are giving me clothes. This is a free shirt I'm wearing. I mean, I don't know. Like, it doesn't take, right, brush your teeth, comb your hair, take a shower, again, I'm talking to you guys.
Things. Yeah, those are little things. I mean, and obviously, sometimes people suffer from depression and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about those people.
Right. If you have an acute problem going on,
yeah,
I get that. Right. But more often than not, the guys at the speed dating, I doubt all of them were suffering from depression. And I mean, there was one guy who dressed good, but the other 9 were like, a joke. Anyways, but yeah, to your point. Or maybe you're disabled or something. I get that. We're talking about, and by the way, I would say, I don't know, even if whatever you can do, even the little bit you can do, because I'm one like, hey, look, crap happens in life. I think we all can use a reason not to do anything. So if I can't for some reason dress well, okay, I'll brush my teeth better. I don't know, whatever little inch I can do, whatever millimeter I can do, whatever it is, like whatever I can do, because I don't know, to throw your hands up. I mean, I get it. Someone could be in a horrible place, understood.
Mm-hmm.
But most people aren't there, by the way. I mean, brush your teeth. Come on. You going to work? Brush your friggin' teeth, okay?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes. Brush your teeth for us, for the rest of us.
I don't want to smell that crap. All right. Anyways, next topic. Let's move on because I want to respect your time. I know you're a busy lady. So, the other thing is, this is kind of something else too, and I think we take for granted this topic, like dress, is, why is it so hard for some people to say, I love you? Now you and I say that and we're friends. Hey, I love you too. But I got to say, especially guys, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Steph, but it's hard. I think guys are, hey, we're talking about love. We're talking about my love. What do you mean? And it's like, I think you get older and some people, maturity, can happen. So yeah, I tell my friends I love them, but I will say it is, I think, sometimes harder for me to tell my father and mother I love them, and my brothers I love them. I'm quicker, I find, to tell my friends I love them, like, oh, I love you, man. But it's harder, I think, sometimes. I don't know, maybe because there's cachet there, there's a history there, and it's funny because even like my dad's a great guy, whatever, but I don't know, we don't usually say we love each other, and it just is what it is. It doesn't, I'm not like going to be on a therapist's couch because of it, but yeah, it's just weird. So I'm like, hey, Dad, I I forget it. My old man, and he ain't gonna say it unless it's initiated by, again, he's a world, Vietnam vet, orphan, hard ass. So that's the type of guy I'm working with, Archie Bunker type. So but my point is life is short, and it means a lot to say to somebody, hey, love you, even if it's a friend, family member, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, your dog, your cat, your chinchilla, your hamster over there. I don't know, but I think we don't use that word enough, and I think sometimes I got heartburn today. Oh my God. And what did I eat today this morning? Oh, I had strawberries. I think the strawberries are killing me. All right. Anyways, but I think that the inverse too, some people will be like, well, don't say it unless you mean it. Like they put such a high emphasis on it that it shuts you down.
Yeah.
And that's not good either. Like no one's saying, hey, go and say you love people you don't even know, although you could do that too. Why not? Right. But I mean, it's your friend. Hey man, I love you, man. Take care. I love you too.
Yeah.
And it feels good to say that, especially after this lockdown where you don't even have people to talk to anymore. I mean, what do you find? Do you find that people are a little bit maybe reserved about that, or no? Do you feel like maybe men, women, like what's your take on, hey, I love you, like?
I think you're right. I think, when you talk about family members and there's history and maybe there's like resentment build up and things like that, I think sometimes then it does get hard to say it, especially if you haven't said it in a while.
And you may think that they might throw it in your face, right? Like, why are you saying that? You're saying it now. Why couldn't you say it? You know what I mean? I feel like if you say it too, you might be damned if you do.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's the throwback in the face. I don't think it's that. I think it's the fear of maybe they won't say it back.
Right.
Like that kind of thing.
I would caution people if they don't say it back, not because they don't want to. It's because, did you hear what I just said before, people? It's hard for me to say I love you. So if I have the bravery to say that, I would imagine maybe the person won't say it back because it's hard to say it. It's even hard to say it back. So it's not, say it. And if they don't say it back to you, it's okay. They don't have the strength to do it. It's not against you. It's just, it's their weakness. And I say that with respect, not to put someone down, but you're right, Steph. They might not say it back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and some people may hold back because they don't want to feel the emotion. They may not want to, let their guard down a little bit. So I think that is definitely one of the reasons why somebody could have a hard time saying that they love somebody.
Right.
I typically don't have problems saying I love you. I say it to my family and I say it to my friends all the time. That I throw it around all the time. And as I get older, more.
Me too.
For sure.
Me too. Yeah. Do you find that it's hard? Do you see that maybe guys have a harder time with it?
I was thinking about this question before and I was like, guys go through like a lot of rejection, especially in relationships and stuff, because usually, at least when I was growing up, and probably you feel the same way, right? Guys are the ones who typically would ask for the dates,
Right. We have to initiate. Even today, right? Women typically don't, right?
Yeah. So
I know this.
The guys typically, put themselves out there, opens up guys for a lot of rejection.
And you don't have to be rejected much. I mean, just 2 or 3 women in your life telling you no is enough to seal your fate that you'll be, locked up and underneath your bed the rest of your life. Yeah, it is. I mean, and women, generally speaking, women don't go asking the guy. I understand it happens. Someone, but 99.9999999% it's the man that asked the woman out or the man that proposes the man. And again, it's just life. It's not saying it's right or wrong, but to your point, right? And when you get rejections of their own also, but I mean, right.
And women have, definitely we go through rejection too. Like we're in the relationship, the guy doesn't want to be with us anymore. There's that rejection too. But I think, that's part of it too. I think, in thinking back, I'm like, guys usually were the ones that said, I love you first, usually asked me out on the date first, usually, did all that stuff first. And then it was up to me to decide whether or not I was going to reciprocate. Yeah. So I give guys a lot of credit there, but also I could see why there could be some reservation, especially if you've been burned a couple of times.
Steph, I mean, even myself, I'm a late bloomer and I'm not going to get into this. This is another show, but I mean, you know me. I am a very popular person. I was a very popular person. I was at the top of the food chain in high school. I mean, right. Okay. But I didn't have and I'm a good looking guy, okay. I do what I do and it's not my fault. God bless me with the looks. This doesn't happen overnight. But anyways, I didn't have my first kiss until I was 16. You know the story.
I do.
So that's another funny.
And it wasn't me. It wasn't us.
No. Right. No, but you know the story because you grew up in the same neighborhood. But my point is, everyone looks at me like 16. Now, that might 16 for a first kiss for like an average looking dude or some pizza face guy, you might be like, yeah, okay, I can see that dude's ugly. But when I tell people my first kiss was 16, everyone's like, "What? Like you're so popular, you're a good looking guy," because I was afraid of rejection. I had this image to uphold. I am cool. I am this. I am that. I cannot be rejected. So I clammed up, and I would never try to even ask. I did ask girls out, but it was so calculated. So just because I was afraid of rejection. And I didn't even necessarily even get rejected per se. This is another thing I want to get into, is that I think men have this thing of like, also the macho thing, like the word love is soft, you know, and a man would rather say they hate someone or something because that's tough than to say love. Love is a soft feeling. But the irony is love is a strong ironclad steel feeling too.
Mm-hmm.
But men don't see that. I think they only see the facade of it. But behind that facade is strength, is steel. But the facade, yes, is soft and cuddly. But so I think men also kind of shy away from the love thing, and you know, because of the word, and then like you said, rejection. But yeah, so there's a lot of subconscious. The back to the brain. I mean, our brains are just these supercomputers that are so multi-layered and faceted, and why we do or don't do things. It's a marvel. I don't know. You know, there's no one thing. But anyway, so yeah, so love. But hey, I love you, the viewers. By the way, if you guys could go here and subscribe and like, I would love you for it. Okay, but
I'd love you too.
Love you too, Steph. Come on, hey, everybody. Promise me, everyone, you will say you love someone today. Someone, your dog, your cat, your mother, your father, your neighbor, your brother, your sister, a colleague. Hey, I love
you.
Right. No, honestly, I mean, just saying that just makes you feel better. You know, like there's not enough of that going around. To say just love. No one's saying you have to have sex with the person, but you know, just that. Yeah, we live in a world that's just overcritical and sad and dark, and every other day in the world. Here we go. You know, like, and you know, there's love. There is love there. And again, no one's hold daisies up. And no one's saying that, but just hey, man, love you. You know, you're my guy. You know, whatever. Anyways, so that's that. Anything else, Steph, before we wrap this up?
Just want to say I love you. You're my guy.
Ti voglio bene molto. I just said in Italian, I love you a lot. Okay. Yeah, same here. Purale, purale. I love you too. You know, I was going to say a funny story too about, about love. Okay. To end it on a funny story, to wrap it, bring it all back to the hardest time you left. So many years ago, remember in the town that we grew up in, they had the bank across from the municipal hall there. It was Sovereign Bank, or no, not Morsemere used to be the bank. Now it's Sovereign. No, it's not Sovereign. Now it's some other bank. Anyway, you know the bank I'm talking about, next to St. Michael's Church. Anyway, okay. Talk about rejection. Now, I will say I don't even like rejection, and I'm pretty much bulletproof to reject. Like nothing. I have no shame in my life. Like, I bend balloons for a living. Like my pride went at the door years ago. Like, so anyways, so I have no, but I am human, you know, and I do get embarrassed from time to time. I might not show it, and I'm tenacious. I'll go through it, but it still sucks. Okay. So many years ago, there was a bank teller that I liked at this bank. I was in my 20s. I'm not going to say her name, whatever. And so I'm like, oh my God, she's beautiful. This and that, And I used to always go there, you know, whatever, make my deposits, take transaction. This is before the internet and all that. So I got the gall up one day to ask her out, you know. So I go up, and you know, there's a line behind me of like 17 people. Back in the days, big lines, you know, banks are there was no online banking. There was not even an ATM machine yet there. So go up there, you know, I know her name. Hey, so and so. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Good. You know, she was like a freaking pen. Anyway, so I'm like, hey, you know, I'm out of high school at this point. You know, it's like early years of college. So I'm like, hey, you know, so she gives me the transaction, and I go, what did I say to her? I was like, you know, I was like, I was like, we should get together sometime, you know, go out to maybe can I have your number? You know, like I asked now for a guy to say, can I have your number? That's balls right there. I mean, you have to have some canola. Like that phrase. Even today, I have a hard time saying it. But so I pulled that trigger, and this is in public now. There's a line behind me, tellers around. It's like a moment in time, just free. And I'm like, so can I have your number? She's like, oh yeah, sure. I was like,
now you're like, everybody see this?
Right. So no, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'm like, hey, you can hear that? Hey, oh, so she walks away, and she's like doing something at the desk right behind her. So I'm like, all right, this is good. I'm waiting 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. She's walking around a little bit. I figured she'd do something, whatever. I thought she'd write the number down. So I see her walk by. Hey. I go, yeah, I'm just, you said you were going to give me your number. She's like, what? She's like, I was just kidding.
Ow, that hurt me. It didn't even happen to me, and that hurt me. I'm sorry.
By the way, there was like 17 people behind me who heard me get the number initially and then heard her tell me, I'm just kidding. You want to talk about a perp walk, the walk of shame from the teller's desk all the way back, 17 people to the front door and out. I couldn't get out of the town fast enough. I was angry. I was like, that's messed up. Like, and you kind of did it. She didn't yell it out, but she said it audibly. Like, you know, I was just like, wow, this is not like today in text, maybe, you know, privately. And I know she's not a bad person, but because I know who she is, and you know, we're friends now. It's like we're not BFFs, but you know, whatever. But I was just like, I mean, woo! I put my heart out there. I said, "Can I have your number?" She said, "Yeah." Everyone heard me. I'm flexing. I'm like, "That's how we do it here, folks." And then I get, "What? I'm just kidding." I even thought she was kidding about the just kidding. She wasn't kidding, and I was just like, what?
"Oh, that hurt. That actually hurt me." Yeah, I wasn't expecting that story to end that way.
Dude.
Sorry.
Yeah, she got me good. So, but you know what? When you get through something that traumatic, if you could, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I became bulletproof. At that point, I'm like, look, I'm asking out everybody at this point. I don't even care anymore. I've got, you know, you're so bludgeoned, you don't even feel anymore. Like, yeah, whatever. You want to go out? Go out. Yeah, go out. Go out. You know, so she almost did me a favor because it made me so angry to win a victory for myself that, yeah, I went on a tear just asking anybody who had a pulse. You want to go out? You want to go out? You want to go out? And then I started, you know, making, oh, good, I'm going out now. So she actually did me a favor, you know. So anyways, but yeah, it sucked. It was public and people were doing this like that to me and stuff. And oh, I'm sorry. You know, I was like,
I know. And that's why I give guys, I really do, a lot of credit for putting their necks out there all the time, because that's not easy.
Yeah. So
not easy.
No, but anyways, so that's that. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So that's that, folks. So thanks everybody. Steph, anything else you want to add before we part ways?
Thank you for being able to laugh at yourself.
Oh yeah, it was a Seinfeld episode. That bank teller could have been a Seinfeld episode, for sure. All right, Steph. Hey, Steph, I love you.
I love you.
And I love everybody watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the thing, notification, tell your mom, tell your dad. And we got a bunch of great shows coming up this week. Another show tomorrow. It's going to be great. Yada, yada, yada. So check back in, everybody, then.